Hey, all right, man. Let's dadgum talk about it. I am back at the range at Austin, one of my favorite places to be. Now, hybrid and Warlock. Right now, I'm holding hybrid. You know what it is. Hybrid is M 10X, M plus M 10X. I call it hybrid because to me it's like a hybrid version of an AK. And I want to dial this thing all the way in because I want to start doing more with it. Now that it's functioning, cycling, it's fully broken in, it's time to have some fun with it. It's time to make use out of it. And this gun is surprising me every time I pick it up. I've been doing some dry reps with it. I've been just spending more time with it, just out and falling in love with it, where I do with a lot of my guns. A lot of my guns, I will bring one out for the day just to be more familiar with it. And that's one of the things that I can say where I need to walk back the ambidextrous safety. The last video I talked about this gat, I said that the ambidextrous safety is really not that good. And now that I've been doing some dry reps and just moving around with it, the ambidextrous safety is useful. It's much more like an AR-15 type of safety. It would, to me, I think it would be better if it protruded a little bit further out, if it was a little wider. But it does work where you can use that index finger, which will be on the left side of the gun, to actually cycle off from safety to fire. You just got to get used to it. That's all it is to it. And I would assume if you're wearing gloves, it's easier because you have more meat to hit that surface area. So I take that back. It's that part, that version, that feature is good. And Eminem, if you're listening, shout out to you for sure. Now, what I did was I moved the sight, the optic. I think it's a 3X. I believe it's a 3X optic. It's a cheap one. I got it off of Amazon. I moved it. It was at the very rear of the rail cover, and I put it over the magazine cover. And I'm trying to dial it in before I go to the 100-yard, the 100-yard bay. And it had no problems. It stayed. The zero stayed exactly where it was supposed to be, and I was really surprised. Really surprised about that. And I want to replace the optic, but the optic has been working. It's been doing the job. It has not lost zero. I mean, it looks a little weird, but it's been accurate. And when I take it into the 100-yard bay, it was putting holes on paper where I wanted it to, in the A zone, in the head part of the paper target, and the spread wasn't that far off. It's more of a and I just got to get better at shooting at 100 yards. But I was very surprised that this gun and this optic was doing exactly what it was supposed to do. One thing I will tell you is that it didn't like all the magazines that I used with it, because the magazine that actually came with it is called, it's an X-Tech Tactical. That's ETECH. I say E, my fault. XTECH. X-Tech Tactical OEM 47 magazine. That it came with this gun. And if you go to their website, they no longer offer this magazine anymore. This magazine was one of the reasons why it was having soft primer strikes, and maybe that gave this gun a bad rap, because I'm sure when folks who bought this gun used that same magazine, it was getting those same problems. But we running Magpul and running those brown Bulgarian magazines, didn't have that problem at all. So, hey, if you got those magazines, you might want to just cast those to the side. All right, now I got Warlock. Warlock is my PSA Draco, or the AK-47 pistol, their GF3. What I've done to it is added the JMac RRD. I believe that's the number of it. RRD4 recoil reducing device. That's why you see that fireball, but it shoots pretty flat for a short barrel AK like that. And I got the goon tape on it, but I also have a binary trigger in it, a Franklin Armour trigger in it, and maybe with the Tula ammo, it doesn't really like that as well, and that's why it was having a lot of issues where it was giving soft primer strikes on it. Because when I run brass, it has no problem, but Tula, I'm noticing that a lot of my guns don't like it. So I thought that the binary trigger, the AK version of the binary trigger, was a bad one. It's just a Tula. Now I put on a Hollow Sun HS57K. I don't even know why I said it like that. HS507K X2. I had that on an old pistol of mine that I haven't been using because it's in 40 caliber, and I don't, I mean, what, that thing can only hold about maybe 12 rounds. And that was my old EDC way back in the day, way back in the early 2000s. So there's no reason for me to keep a good optic on that when I'm not using it. So I put it on here, and I put a riser on it, and I'm trying to get it to zero in, which at first I was getting a little discouraged, thinking that, all right, well, this is a subcompact pistol sight optic. Maybe it is not supposed to shoot past 12 to 25 yards, because I'm trying to sight it in at 12. I'm trying to sight it in at 15 yards, and maybe because of the way that if you hold a pistol, a handgun, you would hold it out with your arm fully extended. But seeing that I have it on this application, it's close to my face. So maybe the adjustments are off. But nah. Got it on point, got it sighted at 15, and then was able to leave the measurements of the sight at 15 and take it to 25 yards and still hitting exactly where I'm pointing it at, just knowing the sight of a board. But now that we have Warlock running correctly, now this can be used as a downstairs gun when somebody's trying to break in, or if I want to use it as a truck gun, if I want to use it as a backpack gun, any type of situation where it's going to need a self-defense role, this could be it. So I'm happy with the way that things are going with this gun, because it's sat for a very long time, and I really hate to have something that doesn't do its purpose. But now that it does, now that I got it running right, now we can move on and do some more fun stuff, which I'm thinking about rattle canning this gun. Stay tuned for that, because if I do it, it's gonna look awesome. But man, I had a great time over at the range. Whenever you're able to get your guns to act right, you're always gonna have a good time. But look, you cannot do any of this if you're out there messing around and getting felonies. So make sure you avoid the felonies, and I'll have another gun video for you soon. Till then, I'm gonna get back with you later. Yeah.